feeling weighed down? Feeling the constant pull to the Earth? We all are. It's gravity, and it's every single thing we do, including our science. But what if we're 250 miles above Earth, aboard the International Space Station, a laboratory like no other that offers something we can't get on our home planet?
My name is Dr. Serena Anand-Chancellor, NASA astronaut. I recently flew to the International Space Station aboard Expedition 56 and 57. My relationship with microgravity is that I got to live in microgravity for 197 days when I was on orbit. So many people ask, what is microgravity? Why do you float on board the International Space Station? Gravity acts upon all objects. We're never truly in zero gravity on board the space station. But because the space station is traveling so fast around the surface of the Earth, we're actually in a constant free fall. And that's why everything and everybody appears to float on board the space station.
We are experiencing the Earth's gravity. In fact, we're actually experiencing about 90% of what you all experience on the surface of the Earth. The difference is we're just moving so fast that as we fall, we actually fall around the Earth, and that defines orbit. So microgravity means we're not, it's not the absence of mass, which of course creates gravity, but all the objects together are in the same gravitational field and all falling together. So yes, it is a lot of fun. Floating around, of course, is one of the exciting parts of being up here on board and being an astronaut, but even more importantly, it lends itself to all the amazing experiments that we can do on board that take advantage of that microgravity environment to do things that we can't do on Earth, but that can benefit life back on Earth.
The important thing is it's so different than what we have here on the ground, where everything is pulled by the Earth at what we call one force of gravity. And what that does is it allows you to see the small forces, the small processes, the small effects of what goes on in life cell development or technical processes like combustion or fluid flow. And it helps you understand things that you may not have fully understood on Earth, where you see something happening, something assembling or disassembling, or the shape of something now going into 3 dimensions. And you learn, that's really what was driving this thing on Earth that we didn't really understand.
On Earth, gravity is affecting all research we do, and sometimes that can get in the way. Studying things in different environments can give a better picture of how they work, from diseases to fires and even things that make up products like milk or shampoo.
One of the main things we perform on the ISS is science. In fact, probably 70 to 80% of our day is performing scientific experiments.
The International Space Station is a great place to do research for several perspectives. One of those is it's a big, huge satellite orbiting the Earth. So if you have an instrument that wants to look at the Earth or look out at space, we provide the power, we provide the data, the platform for it. You don't have to go do your own new satellite. The outside of the ISS is also a very extreme environment, and sometimes you learn things by exposing your hardware, your polymers or whatever, to a different environment. You'll see something happen different than what is on the Earth. But probably one of the most pervasive uses of the ISS is just the microgravity environment, the things that we do inside the ISS. To be able to do your experiment in space without gravity, which we've all lived with forever here on the ground, which we live with every day, and we don't even realize how it governs so many things that happen around us. If you take gravity away, now some of the small phenomena, some of the small processes and forces start to come out, and you can see them, and you can see the behaviors of your experiment happening differently in space and in microgravity than you would on the ground.
It takes a lot of people to make all of that microgravity science happen. 4,000 scientists, companies, and students from over 100 countries have sent more than 2,700 experiments to the orbiting laboratory. Over the past 20 years, these studies have unlocked new discoveries and even kicked off hundreds of new microgravity experiments.
We're studying the physiology of how blood flow and our The fluids in our body shift as a result of microgravity.
Yesterday, I spent some time setting up a veggie experiment. We'll actually be growing Mizuna lettuce up here.
Drew and I actually have been helping start a new experiment called the Cold Atom Lab, which will create one of the coldest places in the universe right here on the space station, almost at absolute zero.
But who are these scientists? And how do they get their research to the space station? This season, we'll take you behind the scenes of the years of preparing an experiment for space. You'll see it launch off the planet and splash back down in the ocean, and hear what it's like to hand off your research to the astronauts who serve as the eyes and hands of the scientists aboard the International Space Station.
This is our first project that is going up to the station, and our first project working with anyone involved in the space program, so it's a very exciting time for us. It'll be interesting to see how all of our planning is played out when someone else has the experiment in their hands.